Instead of, despising these businesses, maybe you can find some sort of inspiration in that. And, maybe you can start to aspire the success that they have instead of looking at it in a bad way. Hey guys, so today I want to give you a little bit of an overview what we do with e-commerce business, how we grow e-commerce businesses that are already existing and that have a little bit of funding. Because there's a lot of content up here on how to start without money and how to do it on a shoestring, and all of that is important, and you need to kind of go through that and learn the ropes and understand how this works, and then what you can do to actually succeed is extremely helpful. And I personally believe if you haven't gone through those tough times, you're not going to be able to succeed once you're at scale, once you actually have business going. But I wanted to give you a little bit of a different perspective, because I know that it's so easy to get so stuck in the now and in the today, and just looking at like what you have here right in front of you, that sometimes you just need to look up and see where you're going and see how other businesses do it. And I know that probably you don't want to be a big corporation and you don't want to do things in that manner. You just want to be by yourself and work from the beach and work from your laptop, right? And let me spoil it for you, because eventually if you reach that point, that's great, because it's so much better than where you are now. But at that point, you will realize that there's a whole other game and there's a whole different level to it. So you will kind of like peek over that corner of the box and see that there's a bigger box, and you will want to jump into that because you already want to grow. That desire to grow will not stop, right? So today I want to give you a little bit of an overview and show you how we actually grow bigger e-commerce business and what that takes, and the things that we do. Those are businesses that are spending about $10,000 in service fees with us. Those are businesses that's per month on at least 6 months commitment. That are people that have $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 in marketing spend to invest every month, right? And that's really something where you can move the needle with. By the way, all of those people didn't start there. All of those people didn't the business hasn't been gifted to them, right? They grew this business with their sweat and their tears and their time and their power. And you look at those companies and you just see them as what they are now. But all of these businesses have been started by a person just like you. Most of these companies haven't been started by someone who studied the business thing, who has gone to Harvard Business School. It doesn't even matter. A lot of these people have started out just like you, and then they grew the business to a point where they were ready to get it to the next step and to actually succeed with it. And now they have the capital. So I want you to just consider this and see why it's so easy for them to succeed. Once you have that money and you know how to actually spend it and what to do, it's borderline easy. It's like printing money, because you already know the right steps. And if you can hire someone like us who does it every day, they don't need to do anything. They know what's right to do. They don't need to invest a lot of money from out of their perspective, because they do a lot more than what they invest in us. And they just need to put it there. We invested in the right things, we do the right things, and then we blow that business up, double it, and then they sell it for a $10, $20 million payout, right? But what do we actually do for them? First, when we look into those businesses, usually they're existing businesses. They already have something that they sell, or they have a new product that they're adding to it. So the very first thing, and it really gets down to basics, is we look at who is their customer. Where does their customer hangs out? What does their customer like? What does their customer fear? What does their customer want to change? What does their customer desire, right? And then we play into that. We build a marketing plan around that, and we go and create a store. That's the first thing we do. We create the store, we optimize the store, because you will not believe at that kind of level of business how horrible stores are. They're converting at 1%. So we're just restructuring the stores based on what we know, and we already double the conversion rate. The second thing that we do is it goes beyond just Facebook ads. It goes beyond just Google ads, right? Because all of those things are great to start, and all of those things are cool to cash flow, right? But you're totally dependent on that. And eventually you want to be able to be at a point where you can build a real brand. And the real brand doesn't just mean slapping your logo on a product or putting your design on it. That's not what I mean by that. What I mean by that is having a name that is recognized by people, having a name that is people Google for, and then you show up. So one of the strategies that we use a lot is that we have the shop, and then we have a blog post in between. And we promote this blog post. We do that through Facebook marketing, we do that through advertisement, but we also do this through PR work where we actually take the product and reach out to publication like Men's Health or Women's Health or the Cosmopolitan or things like this, where maybe BuzzFeed, where we can publish a blog post or a piece of content, or where we can pay them to do like a comparison, the 10 best whatever products of January, and then I put it out there, and we pay them to do that. So we get traffic from there. We work with YouTube influencers, and we get traffic from there. And we channel this to this blog post. And this blog post, what it does, it's a very well written blog post for keywords that we want to rank for in Google. Right? And then when people later on recognize our brand name and look for us, or recognize or look for the keywords that we want to rank for, then they find this article, then they see this article, and this article sells then the product. So this is not just a short-term Facebook ad to the shop selling the product. This is not how this is. This is a real long-term thing where you might not profit immediately, right? Where we get people in the door, where people read the post, where people get sold into your brand, where people then later can buy. But these people are really attached to your brand, and your brand is everywhere then. And then you're recognized because they see you on YouTube and they see you on Google and the ads follow you around. And they still might see you on Facebook, right? But they see you on all different kinds of publications and they see you everywhere. So your brand then gets out there and people actually recognize that. And then the people go and Google this. They find it because we ranked for those keywords. They find us on the first place on Google, and then they come in through that. So then we're not dependent anymore on paid advertisement. We still do it, don't get me wrong, right? But we're not dependent on that. So these are really the steps that we optimize the store, we add content to it, we then promote that content to really get recognized by brands. We leverage other people's platforms that already have the following that we're after. There can be influencers, there can be publications, there can be articles, there can be magazines, there can be all kinds of things like that. We get people over from there to our shop, we make some money with it, but it's really a long-term game to acquire the customer and then sell them again and again and again and again. This is what we want to do, to have a happy customer with great products, because only that way you can actually grow this in long term. And once then you grow this to that stage, that's at a stage where people make $1 million a month, right? Once you're at that stage and you sell your business, you can sell for $20, $30 million. That then is a great payout that people can take home, right? So this is really what we do. So even if they invest $50,000 a month or $40,000 a month in us and the marketing, then it's something that really makes sense for them, because that increases their payout value by millions. So I want you to think a little bit bigger. Think about that. Think about how like the big guys do it. And don't just look at them like, oh, those big bad companies and those big bad corporations. Right? Think about it, look at it like, how did they do it? Think about it as people that found this company, that grew this company. Because maybe you can find, instead of envying it or instead of, despising these businesses, maybe you can find some sort of inspiration in that. And, maybe you can start to aspire the success that they have instead of looking at it in a bad way. And if you can do that, just open your eyes to that. Just look around on the internet. There's so many big businesses that actually did it, even without big venture capital. And even with, don't you want to get to that level where you're able to do that? Wouldn't that be exciting? I know it's scary, right? But wouldn't that be exciting? And let me tell you, it's all possible, because you can actually do it. You can start a company small, learn the ropes how to do it. It might take you 5 years. That's how long it took everyone in this business. Everyone that's here in the office, everyone that has a successful brand, it took them 5 years just of failing and losing and, growing as a person. And then we all became, successful in what we do, because we've done it so much and we've been hurting so much, right? So I hope you can take something away from that. Just want to inspire you a little bit to look beyond what you know. And I hope you enjoy that. So leave me a comment below what you think about that. And leave me a like if you like this video, and check out the other videos on this channel. And then I catch you tomorrow. Have a great day. Cheers.